Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. So hey, in today's video, I want to share with you guys 10 money limiting beliefs that you absolutely must eliminate from your life if you have the desire whatsoever to get rich and build wealth for yourself and possibly your families if you have a family. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and get right into today's video. All right, you guys. So like I said, I'm going to share with you guys 10 limiting beliefs about money that you absolutely must eliminate from your life if you have the desire to get rich and build wealth for yourself. So let's go ahead and jump right into this list. So number one is that money is not important. And this could not be, more of a lie when it comes to money, because, and this belief is just such a limiting mindset because it's so overly obvious that money is like extremely important in part of our daily life. Now, I'm not trying to say like that you need to worship money, but I mean, you need money to operate, day to day, to, buy the things that you need, to provide, some shelter for you, to have a safe place to live, to buy food for yourself, or if you have a family, to provide food for your family. Basically, to just provide the basic necessities of life and to make sure that you're well taken care of. That's going to cost you, it's going to cost you money. You're going to need money. So money is important. So this is just another belief. And okay, and then even if you want to go and say like, as far as like, unless you want to work for the rest of your life, you're going to need money to retire. So money is extremely important. And this is why this is a limiting belief about money. Okay, so second limiting money belief is that money is the root of all evil. And again, this couldn't be a more limiting mindset when it comes to money because, and this particular, basically it's the scripture from the Bible. It's been taken completely out of context when most people refer to it. And it's not that money itself is evil. It's just like I said, it's been completely taken out of context because the money itself is not evil. Like if I have a $100 bill right here, the $100 bill is not evil. Now I can use that $100 bill to do evil, or I can use that $100 bill to help someone out, or to buy food for myself or buy food for my family, or pay our bills so we have a comfortable place to live. So I mean, where's the evil in that? There's not. So again, this is just another limiting belief when it comes to money. And this, again, because if you hold these limiting beliefs, like this list of these 10 money limiting beliefs that I'm sharing with you guys in this video, if you, practice these money limiting beliefs, it's like virtually impossible for you ever to like get rich or build wealth for yourself, because they're like financially restricting and limiting, because by you holding on to these limiting mindsets and beliefs about money, it's going to affect, your relationship with money and your view and your perspective on your relationship with money, on what you believe, that you could do with money, or that you should do with money, or how much money you should have, all these different things. But anyways, that's enough with that. So that's the second money limiting belief that I have to share with you guys. So let's move on to number 3. All right. So number 3 on the list of money limiting beliefs is that no one in my family is rich, so that means I can't be. And again, this is just a really, really limiting mindset and belief when it comes to money or wealth in general. Because just because, no one in your family line or no one that you know of has ever got rich or built wealth does not mean that you personally can't do it. Because at the end of the day, it's a choice. So it just means that no one in your family hasn't made that choice, So if you decide that you want to, build wealth, well then you will, as long as you make that choice, and then you start taking the necessary actions and make the necessary choices to build wealth. Well, then that's what you're going to do. You're going to end up getting that outcome because you made the choices and you took the actions that got you, the wealth. And this just further proves that that's a limiting mindset. Just because no one in your family hasn't done it doesn't mean just because you're a part of that family that it's not possible for you. It just means that no one hasn't done it. And when the time comes that someone finally decides, okay, I want a different outcome than the other people in my family when it comes to finances and, getting rich and building wealth. Well, then when they finally make that choice and that desire to go ahead and just, take those actions to get those outcomes, then they're going to get a different outcome because they made different choices, and different choices get you a different outcome. So just because you're a part of a family that has never, no one has ever been rich or no one has ever built wealth does not mean that you cannot accomplish it. It just means nobody else previously before you has ever made that a desire or a choice of theirs that they wanted to do. doesn't make them bad or doesn't anything, you know. It just means that that just wasn't something that they had the desire to do. But if you have it, or you know, that doesn't mean that you can accomplish it, and that you can't build wealth just because that no one else hasn't. They may have never had the desire like you do. So again, this is just a limiting mindset that you can't get rich or build wealth just because, you know, no one else previously in your family has. The next money limiting belief is that you have to work hard for money. And to be completely honest with you guys, like, I used to believe this one. I used to have this, you know, I used to believe in this money limiting belief. And I used to think like, man, you know, you have to work really, really hard, you know, if you want to make money. And it just seemed like, why was it that like, no matter how hard I worked, like I never got like a lot of money? And then I started to like, that's what kind of started me to like reevaluate like this money limiting belief and like look at things and be like, how come I see some of the people that make some of the most money, seems like, you know, they're the ones chilling the most. Like they're the ones just kind of like chilling in the office, but they make, you know, 3 times what I make, or, you know, even more than that. Or, you know, you see the owner of the company, like he doesn't look like he's working hard. Like he's just walking around, talking with people, you know, just getting to see how the day-to-day business is running. But like he's making, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars, you know. And that just like proves the fact that it's not that you necessarily have to work hard for money. Now, I'm not trying to say like that a business owner doesn't work hard, but it doesn't mean that you gotta, you know, that you necessarily have to. I mean, you could have something like this, like a YouTube channel, and you don't necessarily got to work hard. You could just make great videos, post them, you know, you get tons of viewers, tons of subscribers, and you make a lot of money. Doesn't mean that you're necessarily working very hard. Now, I'm not saying that they're not putting in work into this, but it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be very hard, or that you got to go do some physically, you know, labor intensive type job, or that you got to put tons of hours, you know, you're working 14, 15, 16 hours, you know, or more. It's like, you do not have to work hard to earn money. You can have an online business. You could have something, you know, completely like set up, you know, on autopilot to make you money. You can be an investor. You could, you know, be invested in the stock market or real estate. None of those things involve you to necessarily work hard, but you're going to still make a lot of money. So again, this is just another limiting belief about money, that you have to work hard for money. All right, so fifth on the list of these limiting mindsets, or this limiting belief about money, is that you never have extra money. And I'm not going to spend too much time on this one, because this one is, you know, pretty quick and simple to the point. You say that you never have extra money, but the truth is you do have extra money, because I'm sure if you go and you look at your finances, you're going to see that after you pay your mandatory, you know, like expenses that you have to pay, like your rent, you know, your lights, water, your utilities, like all those things like that, like you pay like your mortgage or your rent, and then your utilities, the bills that you just got to pay. After that, you're going to notice like, hey, like I have such and such amount of hundreds of dollars left or thousands of dollars left, but you spend all of that money each and every single month. And you just, I mean, I don't know where that money goes, but you do. So it's not that you don't ever have extra money. It's just that you spend it all, and only you know where you're spending that money. So again, like I said, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this particular one right here, but you do have extra money. It's just that you never actually see the money because you spend it all. And the chances are that if you're doing this, you're not only spending all that extra money, you know, you're not spending your extra money that you have, but you're also probably going even further than that and spending money that you don't even have yet, and then causing yourself to be in debt. But you do have extra money. So number 6 on our list is that you don't know if you're gonna die tomorrow, so you should just go ahead and spend all your money today. And this is an extremely limiting mindset when it comes to, you know, money. Because if you hold that mindset there that, hey, I don't know if I'm gonna die tomorrow or the next day, so you know what, like basically I should just kind of live like the YOLO life and just go ahead and like live in the moment, spend the money, you know, just enjoy the time. And hey, you know, like I might die, so I might as well live it up right now. Okay, like if you hold that mindset and you practice like, you know, those kind of financial like beliefs, you will never get rich. You will never build wealth, because you're spending every single dollar you got and justifying it by the fact that you don't know if you're gonna die tomorrow. I mean, no one knows if they're gonna do, you know, if they're gonna die the next day. But what happens if you don't die for the next 40, 50, 60 years and you just keep blowing all your money? Well, I mean, now what? Now here you are like 70, 80 years old and you got no money, or you're 65 or you're 70 and you have no money whatsoever, because you've kind of sold yourself like this lie, like, hey, I could die tomorrow, I could die tomorrow. And because of that, like, limiting mindset of like, hey, this could happen, then I'm gonna just, basically just blow all my money because of the possibility that this might happen. And again, this is just a very limiting mindset, and it provokes you to just, react recklessly when it comes to your finances and spend all of your money and have no type of like preparation or outlook for like later on in your life. So it's an extremely limiting mindset, and you got to get rid of this if you ever want to get rich or build wealth. All right, so number 7 on the list is that you can't take your money with you when you die, so you might as well just go ahead and spend it right now while you're alive. And this is an extremely limiting belief, about money, because yes, I get it. You can't take your money, into your afterlife, or you can't take it with you when you die. But that does not mean that you should just go ahead and just blow it, I mean, the truth is, like, someone who's going to be, financially, like, prudent or financially wise with their money is going to realize, like, okay, yeah, I might not be able to take, my money or my finances with me when I die, but the chances are you're leaving someone behind. Like, you're leaving, a wife or a husband or kids or a family or brothers or sisters or someone, and you can always, pass that money on to them, so that way they can inherit that wealth, and that might like change their life from like a financial standpoint. Like, they might not have done as well as you, and then now they're gonna, live a much better life. Or hey, like, what if you're the husband or the wife in this family, and if you just blow all the money while you're alive because you're like, hey, well, I can't take it with me. What happens if you die young? Like, what if you're in the still raising your family, you're like, I'm just gonna blow it because, like, I can't take it with me. Well, now you die, and now you didn't leave anything for your family when you could have left it, with them, and they could have lived a very comfortable life after you went ahead and passed away. But because you had this limiting mindset, you just blew it all, never worried about when you're gone or the possibility of you being gone before your family, is prepared to deal with you being gone, and you left them nothing, and now they're going to struggle financially. So this is why this is just an extremely limiting belief about money. All right, so number 8 on our list of 10 money limiting beliefs that you gotta eliminate is that wealthy people are greedy. And this is an extremely limiting mindset and belief about money and wealth, because a person does not need to be wealthy in order for them to be greedy. I mean, there's people that I've met, people that I've been around, and they're not wealthy whatsoever, but they are extremely greedy people. And those are the type of people, obviously, like, you never are comfortable or never really want to spend much time around or be around, because, you could just see, like, it's never comfortable being around them because they're just so greedy. It literally makes you uncomfortable. But back to what I'm saying is, like, it has nothing to do with your level of wealth on whether or not you're greedy. Now, yes, it's very true that there is some people that are wealthy, they're rich and wealthy, and they're greedy. Like, all they want is just more and more and more. They're very selfish, very greedy, and they don't want to see anybody else, make any money. But that has everything to do with who that person is and how they are, what's their character. But it has nothing to do with the simple fact of, like, just because they're wealthy, that means that they're greedy. I mean, if a person doesn't have money, they can't help anybody. They can't even help themselves. They need the help. Now, a person who has money, who's well off, they don't even have to be rich. They could just be doing, very well for themselves. They could just be comfortable financially. Well, they're now in a position of strength where they could help someone else, and that doesn't make them greedy. That just means, like, hey, they're just a person who did well with their finances. They're they're comfortable financially. And that puts them, again, in a financial, puts them in a financial position of power. Or a person who's, rich and wealthy, well, it's like they can now help a lot of people. They could help people that are struggling. They can even help other people who are not wealthy become wealthy. That does not make them greedy. It makes them helpful. So again, this is just a very limiting mindset and belief about wealth, is that wealthy people are greedy. All right, you guys. So number 9 on our list is that money can't buy you happiness. And again, this is another extremely limiting belief when it comes to wealth and money. And although I get it, like, you may not be able to, buy love or necessarily buy happiness with money, but that does not mean that having money and having wealth cannot make your life significantly more comfortable, which in return will make you much more happy. I mean, if you struggle with like a low income or like low levels of like wealth, you basically just struggle with, like, you have a very low amount of money. Well, that's going to make life very hard and very uncomfortable for you, and that's going to cause you to be very unhappy. Now, let's just say that all of a sudden, you start like building wealth for yourself and you start doing significantly better, with your finances. And now like your income is up, you might have investments, you might be doing very well, and you're like, hey, I'm very well off financially now. Well, now you're not going to be worrying about things like your mortgage or like where your next meal is going to come from, or, if your car breaks down, how you're going to repair it, or any of those things, which in return is going to bring a certain level of peace to your life. And I think that would be fair to say that that is going to make you a certain, like, it's going to provide a little more happiness for your life. Now, yes, you're not buying happiness, but it's making you a lot more comfortable, which in return will cause you to be more happy. So again, this is just a very limiting mindset and belief that, hey, I don't need a bunch of money because no matter what, when I get the money, that's not going to make me happy. I can't buy happiness. I mean, that's just such a limiting mindset, and it's just another justification that people tell themselves so that way they never take the necessary steps or sacrifices so that way they can build wealth. All right, you guys, so we made it to number 10 on our list of 10 limiting beliefs about money that you have to eliminate if you want to get rich and build wealth for yourself. So if you made it to number 10 on this list, comment down in the comment section below and let me know that you made it to number 10 on the list, because that's awesome. That means, you've watched this whole video the whole way through and you're just, learning about all of these limiting beliefs that you got to get rid of. And that just tells me that you want to build wealth for yourself. And if you guys do want to build wealth for yourself, be sure to hit the like button. That just lets me know, hey, yes, I do want to build wealth for myself, and I'm going to take the necessary actions and get rid of these limiting beliefs when it comes to, getting rich and building wealth. So number 10 is that you gotta have a high level of education, or that you gotta be really smart in order to build wealth. And this couldn't be more of a limiting mindset or belief about getting rich or building wealth, because there is so many people, that do not have a degree or any college education. Some have dropped out from high school. Some maybe they started off in college, dropped out, or just maybe all they have is like a high school education or even lower. And still, yet they've built wealth, they've built millions of dollars, or even if they're not a millionaire, they're just very well off when it comes to their finances. And it has nothing to do with like the level of education or the degrees that they hold, because they don't have them. They just simply don't. Now, you can do things like invest in the stock market. You can invest in real estate. You could start a business. You can, you could create a side hustle and you could just scale that side hustle. Like, none of those things require that, hey, I have to go get this degree before I could start doing this thing. Like, you could start a YouTube channel. What happens if your YouTube channel blows up and you have millions of subscribers and you're making tons of money? You didn't get a degree for that. I mean, this is why I'm saying this is just a very limiting mindset and belief when it comes to building wealth. That, or what if you create a product and, everyone loves that product and you sell that product and you make tons of money and you do really well for yourself. I mean, you didn't go to school. You didn't never get a degree, or you own tons of real estate and you just, you've accumulated properties. You got a lot of rentals. You're making tons of money. You're getting tons of rental income. You're a millionaire. You're very well off. Well, you didn't have to go to school to do that. You just had to buy the properties. That was it. So again, this is just a very limiting mindset and belief when it comes to, the fact that people believe that you need to have a high level of education or that you need to be really smart in order to build wealth. And this couldn't be further from the truth. It's just like I said, it's a very limiting belief and a limiting mindset about getting rich and building wealth. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this list of 10 limiting beliefs about money. And again, if you guys hold on to these views, you practice these 10 limiting beliefs about money, I hope that you just eliminate them from your mindset and your whole belief system when it comes to money. I encourage you guys to, just change your mindset and start focusing on positive beliefs and positive, actions when it comes to the way that you handle and manage your money. And if you guys found value in this video, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel and you're not already subscribed, be sure to hit that red subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell, so that way YouTube will notify you each and every time I upload a video. And I will catch you guys in the next video. You guys have a blessed day. Peace.